Hello and welcome to our online session of the St Mary's Church, Killarney Christian Meditation Prayer Group. I was going to say hello, it's nice to see you, but of course that is what we hope for in the next coming, because the Taoiseach has just announced that today, and we certainly hope that the scientists have called it this time and that the relaxation will lead to an easing not only of our own circumstances but also of the pressure of the pandemic and the harsh effects of the coronavirus has had on individuals and families and businesses and communities at large. So hopefully in the next few days we will get some particular relaxation of restrictions upon specific activities, about meeting in church, about having services of worship, and also for our own purposes, whether we will be able now to meet again in person in the St Mary's Church rooms as we used to before the pandemic struck. I know in recent times we attempted to go back and do that, but of course the pandemic reared its head again, so we had to call back from that. So we'll just take a few days to work out what the implications are going to be, particularly about wearing face coverings indoors and about ventilation and about sharing together in person with our meditation practice. So I hope to be able to let you know soon, at least by next week, whether we will go back to in-person meetings or whether we will delay a week or two. It depends on the advice I get. So I'll keep you posted on that. So as we prepare ourselves to share together in our meditation practice, I'm mindful that some of you are following on our live stream and others will be catching up on our YouTube. But we all take the view that we are present together, that there is no time delay, that there is no distance between us in the spiritual sense, that we are gathered together and our meditation practice feeds each other, no matter how far apart we are in time and space, that our practice sustains each other as well as ourselves. So let us now prepare ourselves for our meditation. Let's take our normal seating position with a straight back and our feet firmly, squarely on the floor. Let us now close our eyes and relax our body, and at the sound of the gong, bring in our sacred word, our mantra, Maranatha, into our minds. I hope that was on this good day, as the Taoiseach has said, acting upon the possible opportunities of the coming week, but to keep the present moment and to think about the as we have it from the John Main tradition, in the light of our experiences of everyday life and how the scriptures helps us to relate these things together, because nothing happens in isolation in this world. Everything is interconnected. Now, the famous metaphor of the butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon, and it leads to a typhoon in Japan. These kinds of are often talked of fancifully, but actually there is a lot of truth to the idea that one action somewhere has an implicit effect on the events somewhere else later in time. So when we think about our meditation practice and we look at the ways in which we engage with it in the spiritual realm, through our Christian faith, there is a sense in which we have a foot in two camps, or should I say both feet in two camps. At the one level, we as human beings are fully present in this world, and at another level we are also fully present in the realm of the kingdom of God, of heaven, of the spiritual realm. And of course there is a practical issue here with the way in which we engage with this boundary between the one and the other, in the sense that we perceive there to be a boundary. That is to say, we perceive there to be a difference between living in this world and living in the kingdom of God, when in actual fact there is no physical boundary. It's a conceptual boundary within our own minds, within our own frames of reference, within our own behavior, within our own attitude and perspective. So one of the things that has occurred to me in recent times is this idea of what is the right balance. And clearly, as I alluded to at the beginning of our session, the hoped for balance the scientists are looking for between our practical reactions and prescriptions to do with the coronavirus pandemic, and our needs, our desires for some kind of normality, if you will, within our lives, some kind of ability to socialize, ability to be around and about. There is a balance there that is needed, and hopefully we will be finding it soon, how to live with the virus and to live fully within our lives as well, not driven by fear or concern or doubt. So this idea of there being a boundary, of there being balance, is not just significant in terms of the pandemic, nor just significant in terms of the way in which we engage with the world around us and our spiritual kingdom, but significant also in the way we approach our meditation practice. Because at one level we are engaged in a physical activity, if you will, an activity not in the sense of being active, rather being still and allowing the sacred word, Maranatha, to populate our mind and to keep coming back to it whenever we find it's gone. This act of being, rather than a physical act of doing, is very important to us, crucial to us in the practice of our meditation. But at the same time, we are, when we are being ourselves, we are being spiritual as well as physical. And so the kingdom of God, the spiritual aspects of ourselves, are co-present with the practical and the physical. And we need to get the balance right. We need to stop thinking of our physical realm as being the predominant one, This is to say we need to stop thinking of the virus as being the predominant influence in our lives, and start to think of the natural tendency of human beings to want to socialize, to want to engage in relationships and in conversation and commerce and whatever other aspects defines what human beings are really for, and at the same time to engage in the spiritual reality of our being, which is we are in union with God, and we find ourselves present with God in the moment. So the meditation is attempting to teach us how to hold this balance so that the spiritual side becomes more present, more significant to us than the physical side does. That is to say, the pain and the hurt and the fear and the trauma and the stress and the tensions and the negative physicalities that we experience throughout our life and in our present moment. So all of these things become for us the lesser reality. They're still reality, but they're the less present reality, the less significant reality. And as we progress in our meditation, the spiritual, the kingdom of God realm becomes more present to us consciously rather than subconsciously. And as it becomes more present consciously, then the physicalities of our human nature become less intrusive, less significant, less important in some sense of the word to us. And that is what we're trying to seek, the proper balance, so that we are aware of the physical in our everyday lives. We are aware of it, and we do experience it, but the significance of it is less prominent, and our sense of the spiritual, our sense of the presence of God, our sense of the divine love and creativity becomes more present to us each moment. So in terms of balance, in terms of gaining from our practice of Christian meditation, this is the transition we're looking for. And so not just in terms of the coronavirus, not just in terms of our physical life, but also in terms of our faith, that the balance becomes more towards God and less towards the mundane, the physical, the painful, the harshness with which we all experience human life. So I ask God to bless you and to keep you safe and to allow you to extend the freedoms we have been given in a safe way, in a way that helps you and doesn't undermine your health and your physical well-being. And I will alert you in the coming days as to whether next week we will be still online or whether we will be in person at St Mary's Church in Killarney. So thank you for joining us. It's been lovely to share with you, and I hope and wish every blessing for you in the coming days. God bless you.